We're seeing a big trend right now in punching being a fitness product that we see all the time. 9 rounds and a lot of these places are opening up because even when I was a kid and years before, everybody knew that boxing was a great workout. And in boxing though, the conditioning that a boxer has to have is really, really good. And if somebody's able to mimic some of the workouts that they do, they're gonna see really great results. Well, unfortunately, I'm a statistic. I was doing some boxing training and I hit the bag one time and I tore a ligament in my wrist that's called your scapholunate ligament. And that ligament is almost like your ACL in your wrist. So at the time, I wasn't training to try to be a UFC fighter, MMA fighter, a professional boxer. I just wanted to basically learn how to hit the bag and get a good workout. And all the while, I got myself injured because I didn't know what I was doing. First of all, wrapping my wrist wasn't enough to protect my hand, and again, I wasn't trying to be a professional boxer, so what's it matter, right? So what we have now, we've come up with a device that allows people to get the fitness component and ultimately reduce the risk. Our whole training program here is based upon that. Let's move the body through functional movements over and over and over again, which in my opinion, punching is something that everybody should learn how to do, and I'm going to explain it in a few minutes why, but punching is a very fundamental movement that every person should learn how to do because it incorporates your power center and you have to move from your hips to do it correctly. Now, just like walking and running, everybody thinks that they can do it pretty well, but in reality, we see people that are not very good at walking and running, and punching would be another example. So what happens a lot of the times in these classes and people doing, hitting the heavy bag like my dad had in my basement was you're just hitting it, right? It's the same thing. You just go out and run or you go out and walk and there's no sense of quality in the movement. Well, these things, these punchers actually help you to correct your punching mechanics because it allows you to use your body correctly as you rotate, which in every single sport that we do, counter rotation and rotation of your hips and your torso is where you generate all your force and all of your power. Well, punching is a great way to sit and practice that movement if you're doing it correctly. So here at Revolution, we're incorporating punching into our training because we believe that it's going to be a huge advantage for people that are trying to learn how to use their hips correctly during their functional movement and also to work on their explosive power. Well, while you're working on power, you have to be very careful because it's easy to get injured. As soon as you increase the speed, which basically that's what power is, right? Strength in motion, speed times force, you're increasing your power. And once you increase your power, you're putting yourself more at risk if the biomechanics are not correct. So as we're training power development with these punchers, it puts us in a more protected situation, right? Which ultimately, very similar to the new style of foam boxes that we have that people jump on. My belief is that if you're not afraid, you're going to express your power that much better, right? So what we see is, if anybody out there has ever jumped on one of those metal or wooden boxes and banged their shin off it, it creates apprehension because you know that you're going to have pain from jumping and landing and hitting your shin. So when you're trying to jump your highest, it makes it really difficult for your brain to let go and give you that freedom of your movement so you ultimately can express your body the most powerfully that you can, right? So this is a very similar tool that we have here. These punchers allow you to hit the bag without any worry of hurting your wrist and your hand, so you can work on that development of using your body. Just like any other tool, it's designed to help us facilitate these things. It's not the end-all be-all, and we're using it as a part of our program. We're not trying to take Megan here and make her the best boxer in the world. She's a basketball player, but we want to take her functional movement and get it at its peak expression so she can be the most powerful, fluid athlete that she could possibly be.